Well, it was another sloppy day in the markets that saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average down almost 30 points, NASDAQ down 15, and the S&P 500 down 15 points. In fact, the only sector not to finish lower was technology. They finished the session unchanged. Now, interestingly, this was the 101st trading session where the S&P did not decline more than 1 percentage point. That's extraordinary resolve for the market, but now it's clear the market's also seeking some sort of catalyst for the next move higher. Today was the first time also that President Trump verbally promised a massive tax cut. In fact, maybe bigger than Reagan's, and the market didn't have one of those Pavlovian reactions. Of course, he mentioned it late in the session.
We'll be planning a major tax cut. I know exactly what we're looking at. Most of us know exactly the plan. It's going to put our country in great shape, and we're going to reduce taxes for companies and for people. And I can use the word again, massively. It's going to be a big tax cut. The biggest since Reagan, maybe bigger than Reagan.
But indecision should begin to ease tomorrow with the release of that ADP jobs report. And, of course, we get the big jobs report on Friday. And that, well, either lift this market into orbit or we might see some people take profits. Here to discuss, Steve Cortes and Eric Schiffer. Eric, what do you make? The market's stalling a little bit. I know we've become accustomed to having green on the screen every day. But should we be concerned right now?
Well, it's interesting. In my opinion, I think there's really three certainties that are driving this. And I think that, and all of them are fairly positive and stable. And I think the first one is really, you've got all this chaos. I mean, there's a lot of political chaos, tremendous blood, and, it's ugly at times. There's no question. But I think the market recognizes that that doesn't change the economics. So that's the first thing. I think the second thing is that the Fed, there's an understanding that the Fed has the back of the market in terms of volatility, which is good for the market. And I think on the third side that, the fact is this is not an incredible economy, but it's a good economy, and it's stable. And so because it's stable, the market also, I think, it gives the market some strength.
Right.
Now, if there's some new thing that goes off, or Trump doesn't follow the policy, or there's a policy mistake, then we could have big problems. Right. But otherwise, I think that we're going to continue to drive.
Those have been the risks, Steve. But right now, when Eric says it's a good economy, it's a good economy that's becoming greater. I mean, we see the momentum. We see earnings season when 9 out of 11 sectors said growth accelerated. We saw that last jobs report, and I think there's a lot of hope that this momentum carries through and we get evidence of it in the next 3 days.
Yeah, Charles, no, you make a good point. And I agree. The economy's only good right now, but it's going to be good to great. And the reason it's going to be great is because we're going to make America grow again. And by the way, don't take my word for it. Look at the actual plans of companies. Companies like ExxonMobil, which says it's going to invest $20 billion, hire 45,000 people for high-paying jobs. Why? Because of deregulation, because of tax cuts, because creating an environment where this country can finally break out. Unfortunately, Charles, we've become too accustomed in our country to mediocrity when it comes to economic growth. We've had a decade where we didn't have, the first one in American history, where we never had 3% plus GDP growth. But we have said as a people, enough. We're better than that. We demand better than that, and we're going to get it. And President Trump, God bless him, is going to deliver tax cuts that are going to make this economy absolutely soar.
All right, gentlemen, thank you both very much.